The fifth step in the PAMF participant cycle is managing Phragmites. After enrolling and monitoring your management unit, the PAMF model is able to provide your first round of management guidance. Once the guidance is received, you're able to begin managing. Phragmites management happens throughout the year, with one management action occurring in each biological phase, as shown in the cycle image. Management is covered in Chapter 3 of the PAMF Participant Guide. There are 10 management actions that PAMF's model is designed to learn from, which were exhaustively vetted by the technical working group. We recognize that these are not the only Phragmites management actions out there, but they are some of the most common. They're also the management actions from which PAMF's predictive model is designed to learn. So any recommendations you receive will be comprised of a combination of these 10 actions. Check out the Management Actions Details and Descriptions document on the PAMF WebHub for more information of these 10 management actions. There are 3 management actions that involve herbicide applications, including glyphosate, imazapyr, and glyphosate plus, which is a combination of glyphosate and imazapyr as the active ingredient. Herbicides must be approved for aquatic use when applying them over water, and be sure that a licensed applicator is always used when applying herbicides. There are other considerations to take when applying herbicides, including the sensitivity of surrounding vegetation, land use, and restoration goals. Additional resources, such as an Herbicide Concentration Quick Guide, can be found on the PAMF WebHub. There are 4 mechanical control management actions included in PAMF. Remove biomass involves removing Phragmites from the management unit manually. This can be achieved by cutting and removing Phragmites or even implementing a controlled burn. Mechanical and leave biomass involves mowing, cutting, or crushing all above ground Phragmites biomass within a management unit and then leaving it on site rather than removing it. Pre-flood clearing is really the same as either of the 2 aforementioned management actions, but can involve either removing or leaving biomass, but it's always followed with a flood event. Finally, spading is being demonstrated by the woman on the right and involves taking a sharpened shovel or spade and inserting it at the base of the stem at a 90-degree angle, cutting into and damaging the rhizome, and then removing any cut Phragmites from the site. Spading works by cutting off the oxygen supply to the plant and then suffocating the rhizome. Next, we have 2 hydrologic management actions. Cut underwater is defined as cutting Phragmites stems beneath the water level as close to the substrate as possible and at least 1 to 3 feet below the water surface. This can be done by hand using equipment like raspberry cane cutters, as shown in the upper right, or with large amphibious equipment, as shown in the left with the truck saw. A second hydrological management action is a flood. In order for a management action to be classified as a flood in PAMF, water must cover all live Phragmites within the management unit for at least a full month. If a natural flood occurs that meets this criteria for a management action, rather than a controlled or intentional flood, this should still be submitted as a management report. If you've already applied a management action during the same phase a natural flood occurs, you can report both actions but use separate management reports. Lastly, we have rest, when no Phragmites management is done. It might seem like a silly action to recommend on its own, but rest can be an effective action as part of a 3-action combination. It's also useful if you're unable to manage your unit for any reason. You can just report rest as your management action, which still provides us with valuable information because inaction also influences the way that infestation changes over time. These 10 management actions have been grouped into 16 potential combinations that reflect what land managers are already doing. These combinations detail 1 management action for each biological phase. Annual management guidance specific to each management unit will be provided as one of these management combinations. Each management unit will receive the combination that the model determines is the most likely to achieve the greatest reduction in Phragmites at the lowest cost for that particular site. As you carry out these management actions, you'll need to submit a corresponding management report. Each management action that occurs during a phase should be reported. So if you plan to implement more than 1 management action per phase, we recommend that you enroll more than 1 management unit so that each management unit only has 1 management action and 1 management report per phase. However, it's all right to perform a single type of action multiple times during a phase, like spading multiple times during the growing phase. This would still only require one management report because only one type of action is being performed. However, if more than one management action occurs during a single phase, such as perhaps you applied glyphosate and then experienced an unexpected natural flood, you would need to fill out separate management reports for both of those actions. You will need to submit at least one management report for each phase, translocating, dormant, and growing, even if you let your management unit rest. The management reports are filled out and submitted on the PAMF WebHub and ask questions like what management action you implemented, what technique you used when implementing it, and the cost you incurred. The questions are meant to give us enough information to evaluate each management action without it becoming a huge time burden for you. The management reports can be found on the PAMF WebHub or in the appendix of the PAMF participant guide. This image here shows one image of the blank report that you can take out into the field with you that can help you gather the necessary information you need for when you go back and submit the report on the WebHub. We recommend that you submit your management reports at the end of each management phase while things are still nice and fresh in your mind. However, you can submit all 3 reports at the end of the annual cycle as long as it's before August 1st of each year. Reporting your management actions is meant to be a simple and quick process that should take less than 15 minutes per report. There are 10 management actions included in PAMF. Each management action has multiple implementation techniques possible, and the decision of how to implement is left up to each participant to decide. The 10 management actions are grouped into 16 management combinations that PAMF's model is designed to learn from. Participants are responsible for submitting one management report for each management action they take, which is ideally just one per biological phase. If 2 different actions should occur during one phase, for example, a glyphosate treatment followed by a natural flood event, each action requires a separate management report. However, if one action applied multiple times during a phase or is applied multiple times during a phase, so for example, it took multiple days to spade an entire management unit, only one report is required for that phase. There are resources available on the PAMF WebHub to help participants make implementation decisions. And as always, the PAMF staff is available to answer any and all management questions. You can reach us at pamf@glc.org.